Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Abdulrazak Ali. 4 young men appeared at the Somali military court on Thursday following a hoax video that demanded ransom money from one of the young men's mother. A Somali-Swedish Zakaria Mohamud Warsame, who was brought to Mogadishu for cultural rehabilitation, persuaded the young men to make the short video. 4 young men appeared at the Somali military court in Mogadishu on Thursday following a hoax video that demanded ransom money from one of the young men's mother. A Somali-Swedish Zakaria Mohamud Warsame, who was brought to Mogadishu for cultural rehabilitation, persuaded the young men to make the short video. After they agreed, they filmed a short hoax video in which Zakaria was kidnapped and tortured by gunmen. The armed men demanded money from his mother in exchange for Warsame's safe return. Zakaria told the court that he needed money from his mother to purchase a plane ticket back to Sweden. One of the young men who appeared in court stated that Zakaria demanded that they film with him, but he never expected to be charged with a crime in court. The soldier who had the weapons used by the young men in the video was also brought before the military court. The soldier said he was acquainted with one of the young men in the video. The two were neighbors, but he claimed he did not know that the video would feature his military uniform and weapons. Colonel Hassan Ali Nur Shute, the chairman of the Somali military court, announced that all men in the video would be spared prison but should be sent to rehabilitation. At the same time, the soldier was jailed for neglecting national property. Well, U.S. Special Commandos killed a senior leader of the Islamic State militant group in an early morning helicopter raid in a remote area of northern Somalia, U.S. officials have said. A U.S. Special Operations Commando killed a senior leader of the Islamic State militant group in an early morning helicopter raid in a remote area of northern Somalia on Thursday, U.S. officials have said. The Pentagon identified as Bilal al-Sudani. U.S. officials said he was operating in Somalia, but that his influence as one of the terrorist group top financial operatives extended across Africa into Europe and even to the Islamic State branch in Afghanistan that carried out August 2021 bombing at Kabul's international airport that killed 13 American service members. In a statement, Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin said al-Sudani was responsible for fostering the growing presence of ISIS in Africa and for funding the group's operations worldwide, including in Afghanistan. Biden administration officials said no civilians were injured or killed in the raid. They also said none of the U.S. troops involved were hurt, although one was bitten by a dog they had brought with them. During a call with reporters Thursday afternoon, a senior administration official described al-Sudani as key operative. During a call with reporters on Thursday afternoon, a senior administration official described al-Sudani as key operative and facilitator for ISIS global network. The official said the operative was killed along with 10 other Sudanese Islamic State associates. The raid took place in a remote mountainous cave complex in Puntland region of northern Somalia, months after the U.S. spy networks detected al-Sudani's hidden headquarters and monitored the location to study his movements. Meanwhile, Somalia's Prime Minister Hamza Abdi Barre made the closing remarks at a conference for religious scholars in Mogadishu. The 3-day conference concluded with the clerics agreeing that the Al-Shabaab, the militant group waging a deadly insurgency against the Somali government for over a decade, do not have any religious legitimacy and has labeled them as Khawariji. Somalia's Prime Minister Hamza Abdi Barre has made the closing remarks at a conference for religious scholars in Mogadishu.
Waxaan u baahanahay inaan isdhahno dib ugu noqono maxaan ku fail garownay oo hadda laga bilaabo aan ogaano maxaa muhiim ah oo ay tahay inay tarbiyadeenu ay salka dhigato. Anigu waxa ay la tahay dhowr shay baa muhiim ah inay tarbiyada qaybtii rabo ka imo tashkiilaadka hadda la sheegay ee laga kala yimid iyo xarakaadka iyo jamaacaadka laga kala yimid meesha la arkaba laga kala yimaado laakiin aniga waxaan qabaa in lagu heshiiyo natiijada la soo saarayo ee qofka Soomaaliga soo saarayno ama jaamacad ha ka soo baxo ama jaamic ha ka soo baxo labadaba midku rababa ha ka soo barto laakiin qofka Soomaaliga ah markii uu wax soo barto waxaan qabaa aniga in dhowr shay ay laga maarmaan tahay in laga helo kow marka laga tago inuu qof muslima oo aqoontiisa iyo akhlaaqdiisa iyo dhaqankiisu ay wanaagsan yihiin marka laga reebo qofka Soomaaliga waa in uu noqdaa qof dadka la noolaan kara bulsho wada noolaan kartaan u baahanahay bulsho wada noolaan karta ayaan u baahanahay oo ayadu qofku Soomaaliga waa inuu la noolaan karo qofka waa inuu sidii bari dhacday oo annaga nagu dhacday uusan baabuurka kaga degayn buur cidla haddii hees la daaro hees ma nishiido haddii la daaro oo laakiin dhug wax ka raadidaas iddaji anu waan degayaa meel cidla kaligiis inuusan ku degayn dadka la noolaan karo waxoogaa iska dhegaysan kara xataa haba nooca ama daaye bini'aadamku la noolaan karaa la rabaa marka kaas waa qodob dadka kalena waa inuu la noolaan karo yani ar-ra'yi war-ra'yi al-aakhar waa inuu ogol yahay in la iskhilaafi karo haddana la wada joogi karo la wada noolaan karo oo uusan dhahayn haddii mar la khilaafo yani wixii black and white ama waa inuu wax caddaado ama inuu madoobaado qofka noocaas tarbiyada noocaas waxaan qabaa inayna jaamicna ka soo bixin jaamacadna ka soo bixin dhibaatooyinka ina qabsaday bayna ka mid tahay oo soo baxday qofku black and white haddaadan adiga ii ekayn diinta ma haysatid ama si la rabay ma haysatid waa inaad aniga ii ekaato shakligayga u ekaato sidaan ahay ahaato noocaan ahay waa inaad ahaato saan u fakeray waa inaad u fakerto haddaadan saa ahayn caqiidadaadu way khaldan tahay adigu waad khaldan tahay wax oo dhan baa kaa khaldan mas'aladaas waxaan qabaa in lagu baraarugo oo culimadu ku baraarugto loo sheego dadka in waxyaabaha qaarkood la isku khilaafi karo ra'yi war-ra'yi al-aakhirka weligiis inuu soo jiray taas waa qodobka kale ee muhiimka waxaa waaye waa inaan soo saarno qof aan nidaam diid ahayn nidaamka waa inuu qofku ogol yahay waa in la xukumi karo waxna xukumi karo waa in qaanuunka uu ilaalinayo laakiin markii arday la ahaayo banaanadaas la joogayoo u qoran tahay masalan in la imaado 10 habeenimo wax ka dambeeya aysan jirin waa inuusan Soomaali kaliya uusan iska imaanin 11 aniga way ogyihiin dadka aad baad u wada garanaysaa Soomaali kaliya 10 baad arkaysaayo 11 lagu kala gaaray waxaas la yiri ma iska dhib ma leh waa la iska imaanay nagee waa iska tageynaa marka waa in dad nidaam ogol oo kayasitiga iyo fawdada waa in aan diidnaa oo ka hortagno oo dadkeena ku tarbiyeynaa in fawdada laga taga.
The 3-day conference concluded with the clerics agreeing that Al-Shabaab, the militant group waging deadly insurgency against Somali government for over a decade, do not have any religious legitimacy and has labeled them as Khawarij. The religious scholars roundly condemned Al-Shabaab as the enemies of Islam and the Somali people, according to a press release that declared that fighting them was a righteous jihad. Daesh or ISIS was also denounced as a deviant Khawarij sect. Somali government forces and local anti-Al-Shabaab clan militias launched a military campaign to remove Al-Shabaab from central Somalia in summer of 2022. The operations have increased pressure on Al-Shabaab by capturing district capitals that Al-Shabaab has used for logistics and finances. The Somali military officials have begun mobilizing the second phase of the offensive, targeting the militants in the southwest, where the group controlled several towns and villages. The scholars also decreed that it is prohibited to interact with the Khawarij sect in any form, including transacting in any business, offering charity and seeking justice for their court. The Islamic Convention was aimed at shoring up cooperation between Somalia's government and the religious community. President Mohamud hosted a dinner for the scholars on Thursday evening after the conference. President Mohamud thanked the religious community for anonymously condemning Al-Shabaab and other extremist groups. Elsewhere, a high court in Nairobi has ordered former Isli cop Rashid Ahmed, who is facing 2 murder charges for the extrajudicial murder of 2 teenagers, to surrender to police after failing to appear in court. A high court in Nairobi on Thursday ordered former Isli top cop Ahmed Rashid, who is facing 2 murder charges for the extrajudicial murder of 2 teenagers, to surrender to the police after failing to appear in court. According to court proceedings, Rashid Ahmed was scheduled to undergo a mental health examination before his plea, but did not attend the virtual hearing. His lawyer informed the court that Ahmed traveled to Garissa to attend a family matter.
We raised very fundamental issues within that petition. One, the author of that video. 2, the video itself. 3, the camera that took that video. 4th, the ballistic report of the bullets and the gun that was used to kill the 2 boys. 5th, the identification parade that was done to bring into a conclusion that these boys were actually shot by one Sergeant Rashid. 5th, we raised the question of us being given the evidence through that petition. The state has never complied. They thought that plea will be taken before that has been resolved.
Judge Kimondo ordered Ahmed to surrender himself to Garissa Township DCI before being escorted to Nairobi and booked at Capitol Hill Police Station. Upon his arrival in Nairobi, he will be taken to the Mathare Mental Hospital for psychiatric examination. The court warned that an arrest warrant would be out for Ahmed if he failed to show up at the Garissa police station. A previous court date was rescheduled because Omari said his client was too sick to attend and had been hospitalized. Ahmed Rashid was stationed at the feared Pangani police station on Juja Road, near Isli, and was the leader of a group of officers known in the neighborhood as Pangani 6 that is accused of multiple extrajudicial killings in the area. 2 victims Ahmed is accused of gunning down are Jamal Mohammed and Dahir Kheri, unarmed teenagers who were shot dead on March 31, 2017, in the middle of Isli's busy shopping street in front of hundreds of onlookers. Rashid Ahmed was charged with their murder in late November by Kenya's Independent Policing Oversight Authority, IPOA. Rashid asked the court to throw out the charges but was turned down. He is scheduled to return to court on February 9 to enter his plea. Well, that's all we had for you today on Dalsan TV, Somalia's premier TV station. My name is Abdulrazak Ali.